Thank you, Herman. Go ahead,
Nice.
Danielle.
Okay, back to the slide with the power. That's a pretty decent map. I met with a lot of people today that were either in North Shore or Channel View or Pleasantville in parts of Fifth Ward that still don't have power. It's the best that they can do, and they keep, like Faye said, that they keep updating the map. So they are trying to be progressive. The reason it was initially slow, if you go to the next slide, they PR person for Centerpoint, it was like it was overrun. Their website, which is in like an ArcGIS map, was overrun. So you'll see in there that they say that because the combination of the large demand and the massive amount of problems to report, the system couldn't support. So it has been slow, but they are working very hard to get that updated. Currently, as of 5:30, when I did the PowerPoint, they were looking at the end of Wednesday. I think that's a stretch because there's so many communities still out of power, but that's there. One of the things I didn't know because I wasn't from Texas about, I don't have Centerpoint in California, is the Power Alert Service, PAS. So when you get this slide, there are actual links on these various pictures that will take you to that. If you are a Centerpoint customer where that arrow, the hand is pointing up, click on that and sign up for Power Alert Services to keep yourself informed. Next slide. So again, a map. The gray one is important. It says, why does my neighbor have power, but I do not? And that's a question that's popped up here as people have been reaching out to city council members. And there's 3 identified reasons why, if your power comes on in your neighborhood, you may not have power. So definitely, if that happens to you, look at these 3 reasons and then try to work through that problem, that scenario, to get your power back on. And don't feel that you're alone. Definitely reach out for help. Yes, Deborah, the power alerts are very, very, yeah. Next slide. Cooling centers. I actually went to them while I was out of power for 4 days. Just checked in on Fifth Ward multi-service cooling center, and it was actually not many people in there today. So you can also pick up water and ice at the cooling centers as well. Again, if you click on the pictures when you get this PowerPoint, those will pop up. Next slide are additional addresses, additional sites. As you can see, Fifth Ward is listed. If you call 311, you can contact them and they will help you find this, or you can go to the app as well. So these are things I didn't know. I was just tripping across. Just want to make sure people know how many different ways to get to information. Next slide. Try to get to these fast because there's so many. Again, the cooling centers by Harris County, because we do have unincorporated areas in Harris that are impacted as well too. Next slide. Again, some more of those cooling centers. Next slide. Harris County cooling centers. Next slide. These are updates in cooling centers. She actually sent a picture of her getting a hot meal. So that really made my heart just jump. So I'm really excited for you. Cooling and charging centers available to 22nd. Next slide. Next. Okay, guys. Heat index is coming. That link goes back to the Bullard Center and it goes to K Storm Tracker for, I believe, KH. City of Action campaign.
Am I the only one that she's breaking up for?
She's breaking up.
Can you hear me? Is that better?
Yes,
that's
now you're
better. Okay, perfect.
You're good.
Water resources. Just an example, you guys can find these at all the cooling centers. There's water and ice. Next slide. WIC sites for the parents with babies. These sites are open so that they can get formula and other available things that are available for WIC, such as diapers and other baby foods. Next slide. FEMA assistance, this is important. Next slide. The application is open. That is the link and that is the website and the number. Next slide. Please note that FEMA changed its individual assistance, what they call IA, effective March 2024. There's a new program in place. Some people have been rejected, and it looks like it's still the old program. Please notify your council member if you are having problems with FEMA applications and also ask for appeals. This is in Spanish. So, recursos y información de recuperación, recovery resources de recuperación, so limpieza de crisis por el condado de Harris. And then for next slide. Ready, Harris. crisis cleanup, please call this number. It will take you through a detailed questionnaire online via that toll-free number, actually toll number. And it will ask you questions about what happened at your home. Very precise, also specific, precise, including like what happened to your fence, your roof, the tiles, solar panels, etc. What it does is it links you to certified, verified potential folks that come through and help for free repair the homes. So that's the purpose of crisis cleanup, and it's through Texas VOAD and Texas Congregational Disaster Services. So it is a vetted service. Next slide. We're halfway through. Apologize, guys. Again, that's what it looks like when you go to the FEMA disaster page. See where the blue button is in the middle of the screen. Click on that disaster number, then click next page. And then the box below is what pops up again. Severe storms, I should say the one at the top, severe storms, line winds, tornadoes, and flooding. Then you click next again, and that'll start your application. There is free transportation available to get to a cooling center. So if your car was crushed or you don't have a car, there is transportation. Next slide. Call 311 and Z-Trip will take you to a cooling center. Next slide. The Connective Survey. Connective has launched a survey. They're asking for our cooperation through Texas VOAD and Texas Congregational Disaster Services. So if you know someone that was impacted by this event, si usted alguien que conoce se ha visto afectado por las tormentas recientes, reporte sus necesidades y inscríbase para recibir notificaciones sobre los recursos disponibles at the Connect survey. So basically, they're just asking you to let them know what types of resources you need, because they're trying to find mutual aid and grants to fund the work that we know often won't get funded because FEMA will deny applications. That's kind of the purpose of this connective service. Next slide, please. That's what the graphic looks like. Harris County Recovers, and the Texas VOAD stands for Voluntary Organizations Active in Disaster. Next slide. Y también en español for los recientes tormentas. This is for the flooding one that happened earlier in April. Next slide. TDM, this is also important to report storm damages to the state of Texas. The more we report storm damages to the state of Texas website, the more of a drawdown on federal dollars there are. There's no guarantee that you're going to get funding through there, but that feeds up to the federal level so that they understand that they need to fund more of the repairs in this area. Next slide. So that's the ISTAT damage survey to Texas Department of Emergency Management, or TDM. Call 211 if you need assistance, or 311 for services, and connect the survey again. STEER registration. Many people don't know about the Texas Department of Emergency Management and STEER. Next slide. The State of Texas Emergency Assistance Registry. This is what that looks like. Call 211 to register yourself, and there are videos both in English and Spanish. Next slide. How to register. Basically in red, call 211. It's the easiest way versus filling out the form. And they're going to ask you for your name, address, phone number, and primary language. This is, again, a detailed survey that they will utilize in the event of another emergency, like a Harvey level scenario where they may need to come and rescue you by boat rescue, for example, or high water rescue. They are now purging the rolls. You want to go and register yourself every year annually to keep your information updated. And since they're purging the rolls, you want to make sure you get in there and get your information revalidated and re-updated. Next slide. Volunteer opportunities right now. There's some urgent ones and some non-urgent calls. I apologize for the spelling error. I was rushing during the work. Houston Food Bank needs volunteers ASAP. This is a priority one that was sent throughout the city about 5 o'clock today. Next slide. The Department of Neighborhoods, this is where you can go to see volunteer opportunities for helping with remediation throughout the city. Next slide. Hershey Garden in 5th Ward needs help with recovery from tree debris that fell on their community garden. Next slide. There's a farmers festival coming up. It's the first time that this is being done with a farmer that does hydroponics, and is currently up for an EPA grant through Deep South Center and Texas Southern University. Next slide. A volunteer cleanup, Blackbirders Week kickoff. This is for a park in Sunnyside. They need help with debris. Next slide. Okay, we're at the end. So where can we help and who can we help and what can we do as June approaches? Because the La Nina weather phase is coming and that raises the chances of dangerous Atlantic hurricanes to hit the Gulf Coast or the East Coast as well. Thank you guys.
Thank you so
Thank-
much, Danielle. And just so
Thank you.
y'all knew, she just like, she quickly threw that together earlier. So can we just like have some like hands up, some emojis for Daniela, our magical unicorn friend? Okay, so now I want to kind of open it up. If you want to talk, some resources, there's some things you're wondering about, go ahead. Just please keep in mind there might be others that want to talk. So if you'll just go ahead and use your raise your hand emoji, and we'll call on you as we see you. There anybody that wants to talk? I can't imagine there's this many of us and no one
Oh,
wants to talk.
I was gonna say that was
Okay, go ahead,
amazing.
Mo.
I was gonna say that was amazing. Thank you for breaking that down. And also, can you send us a copy of that too, just so that we could have and kind of share that information as well? Thank you.
Yes, we're going to send out notes. We're also going to make all of that available for folks that were or weren't on that call, and y'all can send it out to your networks, whatever, for use at it to do what you need to. So Danny will probably work together on updating that package or something and then sending it out with the notes to everybody.
All right,
Debbie,
thank you, Jamie.
you have your hand up.
Yeah, there's a lot of resources there I didn't know about. So, and I didn't know about the registry. So that was great to hear. I do think we have enough disasters that we should consider education on rebuilding to get a little bit more green. Because my expertise is in lighting, but if that could be an opportunity to use your, if you have to rebuild a structure or add lighting to it to move it in a better direction, does our organization weigh in on that at all?
So I used to actually be a green building consultant and I have a lot of connections there and such. As far as rebuilding, there's a lot of possibilities. We could, if you want to get together with me after this, we can connect to some others that we might be able to help with. And if there's anybody else that's interested, I'll put my email address in there again. But yeah, let's talk, Debbie, because yeah. Okay, who's next?
Thanks.
I see anybody that wants to talk.
Nope. So check
Stephanie,
the
go
chat
ahead.
and see if there's anybody in there.
I'm sorry, I have a just a real quick question. I was going to try and type this, but I think it'd just be too long and weird. But I'm going to the state Democratic convention in June 6th. And is there anybody in particular that y'all want me to, for lack of a better word, target? Any?
Nope.
Okay.
I think that's something that maybe you and Herman can exchange some information. And you can also contact me and we can hook you up with Martin, who's working on that stuff, and
Okay.
maybe some other orgs as well. And just so you know, Mo, Lisa was invited. We're definitely keeping her looped in. Mo was asking about Lisa Lynn, Director of Sustainability at the county.
Oh, thank
Go
you,
ahead,
thank you.
Stephanie. It looked like you wanted to say
No,
more.
no, that's it.
The state convention, actually, the state Democrat Party has the environmental caucus. They normally draft the certain things each convention, so you can certainly check that out too.
Yeah, and I can connect you with John Rosenthal and Penny Shaw, who are two of the founders of that.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank y'all very much.
Yeah.
Adrian, do you have any ideas, state level, anything towards this or what Stephanie's asking?
I'm not sure. It was in the context of the party, or what specifically were we asking about?
If there was just anybody in particular y'all wanted me to try and talk to, or maybe somebody to get their attention or something while I'm there. I'm involved with a couple other caucuses, like the Texas Progressive and then the Indigenous Peoples Caucus. So those are two that
Oh.
I will be doing meetings with.
I know somebody from there, and I can't think of her name right now from the caucus. That's amazing. I'm glad to hear that. I know that they were actually trying to get a lot more support within the party. So I would say I think what you're asking is not necessarily in a partisan way, but while you're there, are there
Yeah.
particular people to approach to advocate for certain climate or environmental or all the other intersectional stuff in between? Is that what you're asking?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Wait, Stephanie, would you mind putting your email in
Sure.
there and then we can get some folks to touch base with you if they have some ideas about that.
Absolutely.
Thank you for
The other
offering
thing
that.
I would,
I'll just say real quick, I definitely agree that the climate caucus is useful. That's Aaron Zwiener, and I think a lot of us probably know Patricia.
Oh, yeah.
Fava. Patricia has been working, she's kind of the director for the caucus for a while now. I would say they're definitely worth reaching out to.
Okay, great.
I would say, Pastor Deb, I noticed your chat. I'm with you on Carol Alvarado, but I know Armando Wally to be a pretty good advocate for his constituents in terms of like polluting facilities, in his district. He's also the Article 5, 6, and 7 subcommittee chair on appropriations and has helped us with a lot of appropriations in the environmental space, TCQ, and that kind of stuff. So he's been around for a long time, but he's a record behind his years.
Well, his record here is bad for constituents. He doesn't come to any resource fairs, answer any emails. We've built a super neighborhood for 6 years now, and he hangs out in Aldine. He drives through Northline to get to Aldine. I know he grew up there. I know a lot of people did, and I know there's a lot of need in Aldine. But we're frankly just tired of being marginalized, redlined, and to see these people on social media at the rodeo and talking about where they go eat hot dogs when we're over here choking. And this is at Barrio. I mean, this is just, I'm not fit to talk tonight. There's a lot of anger over here. We had a senior place over here that they were abandoned, that I've been on Zooms for 6 years begging. So I'm just going to say it. We have Carol Alvarado and Armando Wally and Sylvia Garcia, and we're just not getting their attention. So pray on it. Y'all let me know. The Quakers are big on praying and pragmatism. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying the anger over here. I'm in Cypress, but in Northline, there's no lights and there's people are hot and sick. And I know it's all over Houston, but I just want to know if any of y'all know him. Ask him to call Super Neighborhood 45. Penny Shaw comes to everything. Christina Morales. We have a lot of good relationship. We just can't seem to get some of their attention. So thank you so much for sharing that, Adrian.
Okay, so I just wanted to say real quick, Adrian, do you happen to have those contacts for those folks? That maybe Stephanie could reach out to or could kind of maybe put a link to where she could, if you don't mind. And then I also
for
wanted
the
to
climate caucus, yes, and Pastor Deb, maybe I could follow up with you directly on that as well.
Yeah, we're
the
really
last
trying
thing
to
I wanted to mention to Stephanie is there is a group called the Alliance for Clean Texas, and we follow what's going on the Texas legislature side, and so all Adrian and people from Sierra Club and stuff like that sort of follow what's going on in terms of bills coming through, and so they're already geared up. We got hearings on TCEQ in July and June, and so they're already gearing up for those meetings.
So thank you for that. Just a couple things. I do like where the conversation's going because this is going to be collaboration that was needed, and that's what this space is about. Also, want to make sure that we're all. Hey, I just saw Ed come in. Hi, Ed. I'm glad you were able to make it on. We're just kind of at this point, we've got about 10 minutes unless we end up, negotiating for more time, but we've got about 10 minutes. If anybody has concerns, issues, calls for volunteers, supplies, any of that. Ed, we just shared a PowerPoint Daniela put together with a lot of resources. We'll send that out. Is there anybody that wants to talk or follow up on what's been said so far in the conversation as a whole? Okay, well, then I'm going to take the liberty at this moment to, of course, promote the summit that's coming up this fall. And there's going to be details coming out, but this is why the summit is so important, is so that we are building that coalition so that year round we are becoming more resilient by facing and addressing all of these intersectional issues, because they're all impediments to how you're going to bounce back after a storm. And you shouldn't have to bounce back down to where you were. So let's, I will send out information about that. I hope you're able to attend. Ed, did you want to say hi?
Hi, everyone. My name is Ed Pettit. I work with the Bullard Center at TSU. So I'll be happy to join these meetings.
Well, it looks like people are ready to do one word, and we can cut this meeting short.
Well, before that,
so,
we have some announcements. So if
okay.
you could go back to the slides real quick, please, kind sir, to our slides for the meeting. Not our, I mean, Danny's slides are ours too.
Would have had.
Yeah, and again, if y'all have any resources, calls for help, issues, articles, whatever, please put them in the chat and we will organize all of that and send it out.
I will post in the chat some new positions that just opened up today at the Bullard Center dealing with community engagement. So we definitely want some good people with a community engagement background. I'll post it in the chat.
You almost made me want to come off disability and try, and I mean, I was drooling when I saw that. Okay, so do you have awesome. Herman, you're so wonderful. Okay, so if we could go put that up large. Okay, so we are calling for some volunteers at the Houston Climate Movement. We've got an 8-person steering committee. We're all doing great work, but there's so much to do and there's so much more we want to do. So we're asking people to come and join with us on these committees. You can be somebody that regularly participates on it, or you may stay in touch, stay on an email list. The committees really have a lot of like autonomy, as long as they stay within things and we get to update and know what's going on. And by within things, I mean our agreements and principles. For HCM. So these are some things. Please share this with others. We are getting some new folks that are interested in helping out. The next slide, please. Okay, and then these are the other ones that we're working on and would like some help with. It looks like there's a copy over of that, but grant management, there's so many grants and things coming out right now. There's so many opportunities. So if you want to collaborate with us, and that's really what it's about, is collaborating. Climate Action Committee. And then if you'll go to the next one, please. All right, so our general meetings are the 3rd Tuesday of every month. And if you are interested at all, by the way, on summit planning at all, those currently, except for the communication going in between, are happening on the 2nd Wednesday of every month. And that's all I have. And so the closing with one word, what we do, and this was started by Stefania, our founder, is we like to say one word of how you feel leaving this call, since I'm already on. And Herman, you can close that out if you want. Make everybody all big on the screen. Sweet. Thank you so much, Herman. And then I will just call on somebody else. Okay, so my word is I'll come back to me. Okay. Stephanie.
Excited.
Awesome. Herman.
Engaged.
Awesome. Faye,
Thanks.
Helen, I'm just calling as I see him on the screen. You're on mute, Helen.
All right, connected.
Awesome.
Connected.
Adrian.
Grateful.
Awesome. Debbie,
Informed.
Ed,
Hopeful.
Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, how are you? I'm Fuller.
Okay, Mo, Maximo.
Inspired.
Awesome. Lisa.
Aware.
Awesome. Haley. Hi, Haley.
Hi, Jamie. I am also feeling informed. Thank you.
Yes. And then, hi, Alondra. Thank you for coming on.
Hi, I'm feeling in community.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for coming. I know we're all super swamped. Please feel free to reach out. You can reach out to us at HoustonClimateMovement@gmail.com. Faye, are you saying something real quick?
Just saying hi to Daniela's little guys over there.
Oh, hi. There was a kindergarten graduation today, I saw. But yeah, we're here. Let us know how we can help you. We're a network of networks, so we don't have to feel like we're all overwhelmed and have to do stuff alone, right? If I don't know somebody, I know somebody that knows somebody, and that's with all of us. Have a great night, everybody. Yes, go ahead.
Can you make sure to put Sunrise Houston HTX or Sunrise MVMT HTX at gmail.com on the list? Because my Gmail is not working now.
I think I send it to the Sunrise one too, right? Did you see it?
I'm not sure that you are, so but just make sure.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. Awesome. I will.
Mhm.
All right, everybody.
All
Have a
right,
great
thank you
night.
guys.
I
Good
wasn't
night.
even on here, but bye, everybody.
Bye.